decide not to bother even meeting you or interviewing you, much less hiring you.
Oh, I was an office manager, yeah.
Oh,
There are many resumes I
so
used to look at.
I just don't understand why somebody would, over decades, would continue to do the same thing that they know in advance it would fail them 98% of the time. I don't know of anybody that makes business decisions or marrying decisions or anything else, knowing in advance it will fail, but do it anyway. They'll buy lottery tickets, okay, and, the risk reward there. So we don't try to change anything. We just keep doing the same thing, and the resistance that I get, I've got everything I'm going to share with you. I tell companies and business owners, because I'm a business owner, the most amazingly depressing thing for a business owner is to write paychecks out to people that don't want to be there. I'm sure you've been involved. It's miserable. And why don't you just fire them? Because something's better than nothing.
Yeah.
That's why. You don't know how to replace them knowing you're going to get something better or more driven, or you're putting out other fires. So it's broken because we're always trying to match something up, usually based on past performance of the person that used to be there. That's not effective change. You may have seen it. Somebody writes a job description looking for somebody with 8 years experience, right?
Right.
Same industry doing the same thing. Usually predicated on the person they fired for not doing the job for 8 years or the person that quit. That doesn't make any sense to me. Just because somebody has 8 years experience doesn't mean it's good.
No,
It-
you could train somebody that only has 1 or 2 years, and you could train him to do what you want him to do.
That's why football players can start, I was telling him, and be rookies and start. They're better than the person with 7 years experience.
Exactly.
So, but we don't look that through the screening process. And since the invention of the internet, 50 million resumes online, the screening people, they can find exactly what they want. 12 years experience, you're overqualified. 5 years experience, you're underqualified. So even though you can do the job, but my biggest problem with, and again, I'll speak for a lot of business owners that keep getting it wrong. I understand with empathy their fear of hiring the wrong person. But to not hire somebody that wants to do the job, as opposed to they can do the job, is what gets people counting down years, days, and hours to when they can retire. So it's just about buying into the fact it's companies that need us, not the other way around. It really is. I don't let my clients send out thank you letters as an example. Well, you ought to send a thank you letter after somebody interviews you. Well, again, logically, you have somebody invite you in. They certainly weren't inviting you in because they were concerned about your mortgage payment or putting your kids through school. I promise you. They had a problem. And they'll bring you in for an interview. Maybe take 2 hours of your time. They don't pick you up in a limo. They typically don't ask you when it would be convenient for you. They'll tell you, and they'll have you come to their offices. Then you may have that interview and go home for a month before you hear anything back from them. And then they'll come back because they have their own urgency or whatever it is. Maybe even bring you back and take 3 or 4 or 5 more of your hours of time. Who is the only person not being paid through that whole process?
The person looking for the job.
So why are we thanking them?